Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box, where today I want to answer a question. Who is the quintessential blues-based R&B singer? And there's lots of people that we could put on this list because there were so many virtuosos in that genre, but one of my very favorites of all time, who may not immediately have the name recognition today that he did in his time and that maybe others from his time still do, this is Bobby Blue Bland. Now, his voice was just unimpeachably amazing. He's the kind of person who could sing the phone book and make you want to dial every one of the numbers. But most interestingly is that he recorded, pardon me, I have no idea what's going on there. He recorded some of the most well-known songs before their most well-known versions were recorded. Think of something like Turn On Your Love Light. He was one of the first people to record it, but it was others who then made it a big single. And I would say that a song that, at least for sort of more modern audiences, meaning sort of the age of rock and roll as opposed to sort of 1950s style R&B, because he spans both eras, I would say that his most well-known song among these sort of contemporary audiences is Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City, which comes from what I consider his finest album, 1974's Dreamer. Now, what made that album so interesting is that he's someone, like I said, whose career spanned from the 50s way up until, contemporary times. In fact, let me check when he died. Because he's been around for a while. He died in 2013, so like I said, a very, very long career. Now, this album, Dreamer, really modernized the sound of the music accompanying him, but without him changing his style. And that proves that a great solo performer is able to carry a tune, whether he's being backed by your sort of traditional sort of R&B style 50s band, or this album where he's backed by a band that's really grooving in your sort of typical 1970s style. And there's some wonderful musicians who are grooving there. Larry Carlton on guitar, one of the best guitarists ever. A lot of you will know him for the work he did in Steely Dan. So many. An Armenian name is difficult to pronounce, but Michael Ormartian, one of the great producers, composers, arrangers, and keyboard players of the entire history of the modern music industry. He was on there as well. Ed Green, wonderful drummer. Wilton Felder, wonderful bass player. And the great virtuosity of the musicians on this album, it really comes through when you're listening to it. The whole album from start to finish is really a big winner. So check it out. It's on Spotify and all of your other favorite social streaming platforms. And Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City was probably made a lot more famous several years later when Coverdale and Whitesnake recorded it. And their version, of course, is great too. But like many of the other songs originally sung by Bobby Blue Bland, so too was that one. So dig into his back catalog. Not all of the stuff is online, but much of it is good compilations. This great album, other great albums too, including one that he did with B.B. King. So you don't want to miss that either. Bobby Blue Bland was a real original who may not seem like it because he was the one who started a style of singing that everyone in blues, soul, and R&B really wanted to copy. A true trailblazer. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.